How's it going, Knicks fans? Welcome back to Fireside Knicks with your boys, Alex and Ryan. Today we're talking about a catalyst for Game 2. As we saw, the bench went off. Josh Hart, what a game in Game 1 against the Cavs, winning in their home court and obviously coming back to New York tomorrow. We're excited about it. It's going to be awesome. Julius Randle picked up right where he left off. Injury did not hold him back. And of course, sent from the basketball gods, Jalen Brunson helped us emerge victorious in this one. He was tremendous. And, Donovan Mitchell, you can't stop him, but you can beat him. And Jalen Brunson did just that. He did so many great things for this team. But one player who kind of went under the radar and didn't really perform that well was Emmanuel Quickley. He only scored 3 points. I want to talk about him. I want to talk about how we could step up and have a big game, especially because Josh Hart looked like he picked up an injury down the stretch in Game 1. So hopefully he's doing okay. But I want to talk about Q and see if he can maybe be the catalyst in this one where he can make an impact, Ryan. But how you doing today, my friend? And what are your thoughts coming off of that Game 1 win?
Yeah, that was a huge win for the New York Knicks. They went out and they stole a game in Cleveland. If you're looking at how this series is now set up, the Knicks have 3 games at home. They play 3 games on the road against the Cavs. They've played well on the road. If you do take care of business at home, you will win this series in under 7 games, right? Now, obviously, sweeping at home against a quality Cavs team is not something that's easy, to say the very least. But you put yourself in the driver's seat. Now, you kind of have a little bit of control in this series. And as you mentioned, it was like kind of a slog for the Knicks offensively. They, yes, they won, but they didn't score the way that they score typically. And when I did an episode with Dylan, we talked about this before the game, where we felt like that game was going to be a slog. The Knicks and the Cavs are not going to be putting up efficient points. Obviously that's exactly what happened. So pretty proud of that. Going to pat myself on the back for that prediction. But as mentioned, Quickly didn't play that well in terms of the scoring efficiency and all that stuff. Now, you feel like anytime Quickly's on the court, the defensive value, the playmaking, all the other things he does very well allow him to stay a positive player when he doesn't score well. But you feel like their matchup with the Cavs, Game 2, that's the game where he can go out and he can just absolutely dominate, where he can go out and he can put up a bunch of points, right? Like, we know what he's capable of when he's hitting his shots from 3. It wasn't like he was playing bad basketball. His shot just wasn't falling, right? And sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes your shot just doesn't fall. And he can go out and just dominate. If he can go out and give you even 15, 16, 17 efficient points, that could be the difference. Because the Cavs bench, no offense, it stinks. It's bad. Their bench cannot score the way the Knicks bench can. And that proved to be the difference, right? Yeah, Donovan Mitchell can go out and drop 1,000,000 points. But if their bench is going to score 120 points again, they're not beating the New York Knicks, especially this bench. You mentioned Josh Hart. Emmanuel Quickley can go out. If he goes out and has a big game, that's going to be the difference between the Cavs and Knicks this series.
100%. Look, the Knicks go to 101 points, right? You're looking at a game that was low scoring based on most NBA metrics, based on the fact that the offense in the league has been just prevalent. It's been a lot more prevalent than defensive metrics. And 101 points, right? That really only happens because Quickley scores 3 points. If you can keep the defense up, if you can, look, let Donovan Mitchell kill you. If you can limit Mobley and you can, limit Garland, you're going to win those games. Donovan Mitchell could put up 40 points, but if Mobley's only putting up 8, if he's only putting up 10 and Garland's only putting up 15 to 20, you're going to win. Like, it's a good situation. Jared Allen, not traditionally a scorer, a lot of putbacks and whatnot, but we have a really good big man in Mitchell Robinson. And of course, Randall's healthy and aggressor there. And Josh Hart was all over the place. Guy was flying like a freaking spider monkey, catching all those rebounds off and the offensive ones too. But Quickley, traditionally, he's giving you substantial point production per game. He's averaging 15 points per game this year, which is a career high. Him scoring 3 is an anomaly, right? That's kind of the reality here, is that he's not going to score 3 points again. He's going to score 10 plus. And if he does, and his shots are going down, I think he was 0 for 5. They're 0 for 4 from 3-point range, which is unusual for him. If he hits some of those, which he normally does, you're looking at a blowout game. You're looking at winning this game 110 to 99. You're looking at the difference being a pretty substantial one. This wasn't even close. Like, we got scared at the end there, but normally we shouldn't even be worried because Quickly's putting up a nice clip, and those point totals are even more, and they have a bigger comeback to mount. So if you can maintain the same defensive strategy, play well, Brunson's going to be tremendous as he always is. Julius Randle was great last game. Hopefully he can maintain that, and hopefully Josh Hart is healthy and looking good. We're in good shape, and Quentin Grimes, he didn't even have that good of a game either. He didn't score many. So if the shots fall, the Knicks, I think, shot, 27% from 3-point range? That's not usual for this team. They shoot 33% and up normally from deep. So Quickly's hitting his shots. Quentin Grimes hitting his shots from deep. You're looking at a really different scoreline. You're looking at a Knicks team that's probably blowing out this Cavs squad. Now, it's easier said than done on a game-by-game basis. Things change. Players bounce back. Mobley could bounce back for 30 points. We've seen him do it before. But the interior presence of this team is where we're going to win these games. The aggressive defense from Josh Hart was excellent. Mitchell Robinson had a couple of good moments. RJ Barrett, while he's been pretty bad, he had 4 steals, so at least he contributed something on the defensive side. How do you think this 3-point kind of situation plays into the Knicks' strategy? They didn't shoot very well, but if they do shoot well, is it going to be a lot more difficult for the Cavs to compete? Because, ultimately, you could say that about any team. If you're shooting well from 3, you're probably going to have a nice substantial lead. But how important do you think that 3 ball is to the Knicks' game plan in general? Because, Brunson isn't going to be shooting a lot of threes. Like, he really is just great getting near the baseline, getting up near the basket. He's very, very high percentages near there, inside the paint and around it. So, how important do you think the 3 ball is to the Knicks moving forward, though?
Yeah, the 3 ball, we know the Cavs have unbelievable interior defense, right? As I mentioned, all week prior to the series, right? You have Jared Allen, you have Evan Mobley. Those 2 guys are, unbelievable presences on the interior. Julius Randle was able to go up and get some big rebounds, right? And Julius Randle proved, we were talking about like, hey, should he play in that first game? Are the Knicks going to have Julius Randle? If they don't have Julius Randle, how are they going to operate without him? Even if he comes back, is he at 100%? I don't know what percent Julius Randle was at, but it was a good enough percentage for him to go out and be the difference maker. And if he's able to get physical with those bigs and give the Knicks offensive rebounds, defensive boards, and give them those second chance points, if they can get their 3 ball going, man, that's going to be scary for the Cavs because you could be in a situation where, the Knicks are down 2 points. Brunson, let's say, goes in for a floater. He doesn't get the floater to fall. And Randall's able to box out Mobley or Allen and get a rebound and pass it out to an open Quentin Grimes, or as we mentioned, Emmanuel quickly, and hit the 3. You go from a play that could have been, the Knicks are down 2 and then the Cavs get possession of the ball. They get a stop and are able to go up 2 scores to now you're down a point. And now you got to score because then the Knicks are going to have an opportunity to go up 2 possessions. That's huge. That was the difference against the Cavaliers. Right now, obviously, big shots by Josh Hart, all that stuff. Julius Randle's scoring presence. There's a lot of different factors than just Julius Randle's rebounds, but that was a huge catalyst, right? And as you mentioned, the 3 ball falling, that's a threat. They're going to have to respect the 3. If you have to respect the 3 against this team, that's going to open up some lanes for some mid-range shots, some floaters. We know how effective Quickly and Brunson are with their floaters. Those are smaller guards as well, so you don't want them necessarily running into a Jared Allen or an Evan Mobley. Because trust me, if Emmanuel Quickly tries to go up with Evan Mobley, I don't think that's going to go very well for the Knicks. However, if they're able to get an open look from mid-range, you're going to ask these bigs to move away from the paint. You're going to ask them to do things they're not comfortable doing. You're going to ask the Cavs to say, come on, Donovan Mitchell, get us some perimeter stops. When Donovan Mitchell's not a defensive guy, and he's also trying to be the motor of this offense, right? So, end of the day, get your 3-point shot going, make them respect your 3, and you're going to drop, maybe not a ton of points, but you're going to drop enough points that the Cavs are not going to be able to keep up with you.
Absolutely. I'm definitely excited to see this game too. It's going to be a really, really fun one coming off a win. We're back at MSG. This is where we got to take the lead, guys. This is where we got to take them and just rub them in the dirt and really take this substantial lead going back to Cleveland where, obviously it's a little bit more difficult going on the road always, but winning in their house in game 1, that's exactly the start that you want if you're the Knicks. So now you got to go back home in front of your home crowd. You got everyone supporting you. Put them to bed, put them away, and let's freaking go and move on to the next round. Obviously, a little bit more than that. We have to win 4 of these games, but I think that ultimately we have the talent. We have the guys that are hitting our stride. And when the Knicks are in their stride and they're in rhythm, they're a really hard team to beat. And we've seen that in the past. So I'm excited to see this, but quickly, he's going to be a catalyst in this next game. I do truly believe that. I think he's going to put up 15 points. And if he does, and they can limit Mobley and, they can play good interior defense, this Knicks team has a really good chance of winning. So I'm pretty excited about that, guys. But always happy to hear perspectives below in the YouTube comments. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. We'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Knicks episode.